Der hatte gerade am Wasser einen umgebracht. Und jetzt hat er mir gerade gesagt, ich soll ihn ins Krankenhaus bringen. Hat er das jetzt auch schon gespielt? Letztens hat er es runtergeladen.
Ja, runtergeladen hat das, glaube ich, ja. Oh, weiß ich, ob er schon gespielt hat. Er hat sich heute Doom, hier Doom Immortal? Eternal?
Achso, gibt's ja gerade in Aktion, ne?
Hat er sich in irgendeinem Geschäft da geholt, ja.
Achso.
Hat er irgendwie Rage 2 und was noch? Rage 2 und irgendein anderes Spiel eingetauscht und musste dann einfach nur noch 2 Euro zahlen.
Und Gold, ja.
Oh.
Gut, ich fange jetzt an.
Take my word, I am a doctor, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ich wollte drüber unterhalten, hier diesen neue
Name's Clay Cox.
Abspeichern.
I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Das macht es ja ungemein schwer. Also das ist ja kontraproduktiv, weil du gehst ja dann weniger, also du suchst halt weniger Kontakt nach neuen Leuten. Weil du dann immer denkst, jetzt musst du dich so am Arsch zusammenreißen, sonst scheißt dich irgendeiner an und dann wirst gemeldet, weil du bist ja aufgezeichnet. Finde ich ein bisschen doof. Also das führt ja jetzt nicht neue Spieler zusammen. Ich hätte dann tatsächlich, ich würde 2 bis 5 mal überlegen, ob ich dann einfach so in eine neue Party reingehe, wo ich keinen kenne. Verstehe Sie? Gerade auch mit meinem volksverhetzenden Gedanken.
Ich muss jetzt Clay in den Bann ziehen, Herr Benker.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Scheint wohl ein Vorfahre zu sein von Dr.
Cox. Also quasi ein Lehmschwanz.
Entweder aussaugen oder loslassen. Wenn du ihn aussaugst, würde dir eine große Menge Blut werden, jedoch hat das Konsequenzen.
Saug den Cox aus.
Sagst du, haben sie mit Absicht gemacht, die Entwickler? Den ersten, den du aussaugen kannst, ist der Cox.
Ach Herrgott, das System-Update läuft ja prima. Schon ich glaube die 4. oder 5. Fehlermeldung heute.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to
Jetzt werden
fuck
meine
me.
Freunde nicht angezeigt.
Fuck you! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
Weißt du, einfach um hier der Welt mal eine Lektion zu erteilen, müsste man einfach das ganze japanische Volk abschlachten, nur um zu zeigen, hier, euer scheiß Sony-Verein war so scheiße, der hat auf der Welt nichts mehr zu suchen.
Was haben die Japaner jetzt damit zu tun?
Das ist nicht erfahren.
Dass du alle Deutschen umbringen, weil irgendein Arsch bei VW gesagt hat, lass mal ein bisschen die Zahlen schön.
Nein, Deutsche sind mehr wert.
To embrace its most intimate
Also auch nicht mehr so.
Deutsche sind mehr wert.
a divine.
Am besten überlasst ihr die Entscheidung mir, wer gehen darf und wer nicht. Und dann ich werde schon richtig entscheiden.
Sagst du, Dr. Benkerle macht Selektion. Rechts, links, Dusche, Lager. Jetzt ist die Musik auch ganz toll hier. Ich habe gerade den Loot da unten ausgesaugt. Na, habt ihr frisches Blut dabei?
Frische Omnis, das ist irgendwie Widerspruch in sich.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan.
Warum schaut die nicht?
Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see.
Beachten Sie nicht meine großen
Well,
arischen
I'm a little
Eckzähne.
surprised.
Warum hast du
I
dann keinen
suppose I'll just
schwarzen
have to
Mantel?
deal with this unexpected
Das ist noch
notoriety.
die
You must know,
Übergangszeit.
blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Was wollte ich... Ach,
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least.
Brannigan.
We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor.
Sagte Doktor.
These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
ja, dann leg dich doch ins
Do you
Bett.
think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift
Dr. Swansea
for
hat ein
recruiting
Hähnchen
talent.
dafür.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak
Dr.
ill of a
Fox.
colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well,
Dr.
I have
Schwanzenbach.
never met someone as
Bitte in den
dedicated as
OP.
Dr. Timmins. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No.
Brannigan hat er
I
gesagt.
may
Da steht
disagree with
Schwester
some
Gwyneth.
conduct,
Was ist los hier?
But in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Na guck, jetzt hat es Bochum auch geschafft. Ist jetzt auch Risikogebiet. Gebiet.
Ey,
Ey,
Nummer 1,
ey.
Nummer 1, ey. Oh, Hinweise benötigt. Ja, was denn hier? Sorry.
Goodbye, nurse. Call
Schönen
me
Tag
if you
noch.
need assistance.
Krankenkasse warnt. Zahl der Sexkrankheiten in Herne steigt.
Guck mal, wie viel EP man bei der kriegt. Schwester, wollen Sie nicht mal mit mir nach unten kommen? Ich glaube, da liegt jemand bewusstlos. Wir müssen ihm helfen.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Pippa Woods.
Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
Pembroke.
It's serious.
How
The flu
would
is
you
wreaking
describe
havoc
the
amongst the staff
situation
and
in
patients.
Pembroke, my dear?
We are running out of everything.
Could you please make me a cup of tea, you little bitch? Nein, bitch ist ein zu kurzes Wort.
You
Das muss
must
so richtig
get a
langes,
hold of
geschwollenes
yourself,
englisches
nurse.
Wort sein.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Ja, okay.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the
Wie viele
epidemic is
sind denn da noch im
winning.
Krankenhaus? Also,
And no
ich will
matter
schon mit jedem
how
sprechen, aber
qualified you are,
die
don't tell me
Gespräche
you'll
immer länger.
change that.
was hat sie jetzt gesagt? Oh, oh. Sie waren überrascht. Mir gefällt Ihre Einstellung nicht. Sie haben recht.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Da, guck. Nurse Brannigan. Und da steht unten Schwester Gwyneth. Was soll die Scheiße?
How is the Pembroke
Pre-order
staff
cancelled.
coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well.
Oh.
Milton, the ambulance
Well,
driver,
ja,
is even more
wunderbar.
grumpy than usual, especially concerning
Was,
doctors.
Achterbahn?
Vor- und Nachname.
Achso.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Moment, Milton ist doch der Typ, der hier gleich einen Meter neben uns steht, oder nicht?
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Oh, er war gerade noch hier. Milton? Milton! Warum kann man hier so reinschleichen?
Wer war Eastman bei Walking Dead? Der wurde in Staffel 6 getötet. Ach!
Doctor,
Ah,
where have
okay.
you been? I've little time to play
Der
hide and seek with
Glatzkopf,
new
der dem
staff
Morgen da
members, no
sein
matter how
Stöckchen-Tanz
illustrious they may
beigebracht
be.
I apologize,
Der
Nurse.
soll der Dings, der soll
I
in
needed
der
some time to
Spin-off-Serie
myself. This has
zurückkehren.
been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, Nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Oh geil,
Thank you.
läuft bei denen.
Nurse Crane, isn't
Seit
it?
20 Minuten da, ich habe schon
Yes,
ein Büro mit
Dorothy
Namen an der
Crane.
Tür.
Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Im zweiten Stock ist mein Raum, das habe ich doch schon
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Sollten das nicht
Dr.
Wählfragen sein und
Swansea
nicht,
is a
dass ich alles
brilliant
sagen
surgeon
kann?
and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Okay, danke.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Ob er, während er mit ihr redet, die ganze Zeit dran denken muss, wie er ihre blutigen Finger lutscht?
Wahrscheinlich. So.
Was denn? Ne.
Das ist geil. Das können sie heutzutage auch machen. Krankenhaus ist voll, geh nach Hause. Verpiss dir. Aber guck mal die hier. Die sind doch eh schon halbtot. Kann ich da nicht einfach mal geschwind andocken und dann...
Andocken.
Gib's mir, Doggy. Und Copyright.
Dafür ist seine Stimme zu Fresse.
Gib's mir, Doggy, gib's mir, Doggy, gib's mir, Doggy. Besser? Hm. Du bist jetzt schon heiß geworden, ne? Hier bist du.
Sängerknabe bist du nicht mehr.
Oha, ich bin ein Sängerknabe. Ich bin ein Kastelruder. Storch. Stopp, wo gehen alle hin? Ich muss mit ihnen reden. Hier bleiben sie stehen.
Good evening, sir.
Sind sie nicht der Arschloch?
So it is true.
Der Arschloch.
The famous Dr. Reed.
Der
has
Arschlocharzt
joined
meinte ich.
us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before.
Rockefeller
University in New York.
Dr.
In New
Tippett,
York. Oh, wie
yes,
toll
I
sie das
remember.
im Untertitel
I
geteilt
was
haben.
assisting Professor Carell in his
News auf der
research
einen Seite
about
und York kommt
coronary
dann im nächsten
bypasses.
Untertitel. Ey, ey,
He
ey.
had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Coronar.
Corona. Corona.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly
Dr.
the best
Koch,
of London.
Koran, Tipp
I'm
ist-
sure you are used to
Ach,
working in a
lady,
better
ich-
environment.
Dr. Tippi.
Doktor.
Moment, was hat er jetzt gerade gesagt? Oh, oh. Nein. Nein. Herr Doktor.
I can't say I'm thrilled to be working here, but to be honest, I didn't have much of a choice.
Ja, gibt's nicht. Das
Don't be
wollte ich leider
misled
nicht
by
tun.
appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people.
Sie haben einen,
Just lacks
oh, ich glaube, Sie haben einen Insektenbiss am Hals. Kann ich mir das mal ganz kurz anschauen?
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Ich glaube, ich werde ihn als ersten aussaugen.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Tell me more about cherished people then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl.
Auch lustig,
She
wie
is
die
the most
Leute da die Uhr
helpful
weghaben,
and
sich
dedicated
verstöhnen und
nurse
regen, ganz,
I've
ganz
ever
sehr ruhig
worked
mit einem
with.
unterhalten wollen.
A clever and cheerful.
Hallo, er ist doch nur
You
erschöpft,
really
kein
seem to
Problem.
admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Jetzt muss ich wieder zu der reden gehen. Ei.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last
Warum hat er gerade so
rampart before
extrem so
chaos.
befehlend
Once
geredet?
more unto the breach.
Weiß man nicht.
Sie verhalten sich verantwortungslos.
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor.
Frapp.
Believe me, I've seen so many medical errors caused by exhaustion during the war.
You're
fängt jetzt
right.
an zu talken.
This is a war, Dr. Reed, and I don't intend to surrender.
Züge.
I don't intend to surrender. We shall fight them on the beaches, we shall fight them in the pubs, we shall fight them in the underground tunnels and at Harrods. Nein?
Oh, na jetzt geht's aber hier in die Kampfpreisabteilung.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Kampfpreisabteilung?
Kampfpreis. PS4-Bundle mit FIFA, 270 €. Ja gut, aber die Slim.
Milton, hey Milton. Miltone?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I'm
I've already
Dr.
heard about you,
Jonathan
Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hook,
Hast du
the
einen
ambulance driver
Fritzbox
for this
oder
shithole
war
of
das
a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction,
Eine
Mr. Hooks.
Connect-Box.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed.
Weiß für die
Perk of the job.
Ja.
Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Okay, okay.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Geil, ey. Das ist wieder typisches Klischee. Da triffst du den ersten Schwarzen im Spiel und er kann dir Waffen verkaufen.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse
Fucking
every
awful.
day.
Fucking awful. You fucking idiot.
So what do you do exactly in this
Fucking
hospital?
idiot.
Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since too long, I guess.
Geil,
I'll
hinten
bring
ist der
sick
Patient
people here
nur noch
night
18
and day.
Gewehre.
It's a
Halten
dirty
Sie
job,
los fest.
but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Keine Angst.
Warum hat er eigentlich eine japanische Flagge um seinen Arm?
Are you really smuggling weapons?
Ist ein Undercover.
And why not? I've already
Japaner.
been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal
Seine
my
Mutter
money.
ist Japaner und sein Vater
Defending
ist
yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor.
Volksjapaner.
I offer them another way to protect their health.
So, mein Herr, zweifelhafter Ruf.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Ratu, Ratu, Titu, Titu.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs.
Ich nehme eine AK-47 und eine MG-42, bitte. Miltons Schrotflinte. Clays Beil. Was weiß ich, ob ich den Scheiß noch brauche, das kann ich nicht verkaufen.
Das kannst du nicht verkaufen.
Nee, lass mal. So.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yes. Da persönliche Frage. Oh, okay.
Goodbye, Milton.
Ach, gut.
Scusi.
Scusi, Pistole. Oh Mann, guck mal, wie viele da sind. Boah. Guck mal. Ah, mit der muss ich nochmal reden.
Achso, Moment. Oh.
Der muss ja mit jedem...
Good evening, Nurse Brennan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Auf meine Couch-Fascine.
Couch.
Persönliche Frage. Tippett steht einen halben Meter neben mir. Ich weiß nicht, ob man... Ja.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse.
Schwester,
does he?
Gwyneth.
You're suggesting he's not
Pimper
taking my
pimps.
gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge. I really hope he doesn't.
Alt, Herr Benker. Fahr in die Schweiz und hol mir eine Spritze. einmal Freitod zum Mitnehmen, bitte. Oh, geil, ey. Leben in London. Ja, da gibt's nichts. Gut, mach's
Goodbye,
gut.
nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Call me if you need assistance. Noch eine Nacht. Eine Nacht überstehe ich sicher noch. Ja, sicher, reingehen, sicher. Ich will eigentlich gar nicht da reingehen. Guck mal, da ist schon das nächste. Da machen die echt so ein volles Krankenhaus. Ihre Stadt braucht sie. Stadt, sie. Leben, das durch effiziente medizinische Hilfe gerettet wird, ist ein Stich ins der Epidemie. Freiwillige machen den Unterschied. Na dann. Dann stechen wir der Epidemie mal ins Auge.
A payday, May?
A payday, May.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Guck mal, wie viele da sind. Jesus. Wenigstens sehe ich jetzt gut aus.
Wenigstens sehe ich jetzt gut aus.
Was ist das hier? Hallo.
Das Krankenhaus, wenn es ein bisschen dunkler wäre, hätte ein bisschen was von Dings, von dem Krankenhaus von Evil Within. Oder wie Just jetzt sagen würde, Evil Within.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a
Yes,
pleasure to
hello,
meet a colleague,
I'm Dr. Bunjing
especially when he was supposedly dead. A colleague. Are you a doctor too? Not anymore, sir.
I'm a taxi driver. Don't worry, I get you where you want for little price.
Pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue. What do you mean? You used to be a doctor.
Lidl Taxi?
With your license revoked? No, sir. It is just that I like to be
Kofferraum hat er die
I
Joghurt?
run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead.
Pawn shop?
But I used to be a real doctor.
I'm under the water. Please help.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses? Why should I?
Die haben
These
denselben
bodies are empty
Krawattenknoter.
vessels. Flesh left to decay.
Vielleicht haben sie eine Maschine.
No soul anymore.
Ich
All
bin
gone.
eine Maschine. Hallo. Da gibt es mit weißer Schokolade
An
überzogene Oreos.
interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one too. Most
heute noch nicht
people
probiert, aber es
fear,
ist
or
ein
at least have respect for dead flesh. Sir, as a medic
Die haben
during
halt
the
gesagt,
war, I learned to
wie
face
kriegen
my
wir
death
an diesen Keks noch
and
mehr
the death
Kalorien
of
dran?
others. It's the
Weißt
pain
du, was
we
ich
have
nur
to
eine
take.
absolut überflüssige
Not
Erfindung
death
finde?
itself.
Diese super flachen
How did you get
Oreos
this
mit
job?
weniger
After
Creme
I left the
dazwischen.
army,
So
I
Bullshit.
worked as an
muss ich sagen, die
undertaker
mag ich
down
eigentlich,
by the
weil die so-
docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant
So
business.
knusprig sind. Ich mag das irgendwie.
Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Also ich finde, du bist jetzt lieber still, sonst reitest du dich noch weiter rein.
Do you work here alone? Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Rakesh Shantana!
Why do you have to watch?
Dr. Rakesh Shantana!
Because these poor fellows have no names.
Aidanai!
We keep them in
Ich
case
bin-
someone comes looking for the missing.
Ich auch.
Ich spiele mit dem Gedanken, den Inder auszusaugen, du. Klingt echt komisch.
Lecker Curry.
Why close the hospital's main morgue? It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Ich komme gleich wieder. Ich mache mir jetzt einen lecker Kakao.
Have we met before? I don't think so, sir. Why? When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead. Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now. A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here. Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Oh, Stufe 4, tschüss.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital. I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people. What kind of goods? With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help. Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh? No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless. Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept? I don't think so.
Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidama.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Rakesh.
It's locked, all right.
Was ich geil finde, dass du vorhin gesagt hast, es wird bald Nacht. Ja, und jetzt laufe ich hier rum, es wird bald Tag, meinte ich. Krankenschwestern werden jetzt gebraucht. Herr Doktor.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Good evening,
I
sir.
believe we're
I'm
going
Dr.
to be
Rachel.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Netter Mann.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work. and they're here to protect our patients.
Okay, sorry, tschüss.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative. It is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
You and our side, Dr. Reed. I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
I will not let you down, my boy. Come now, we can handle this.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Hello.
Oh.
You always knew the
schaffe ich nicht mehr.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
I need both arms.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children. As for me...
Morgen früh um 10 Uhr geht das Update für Ghost of Tsushima live.
Oh.
Um mit euren Freunden zusammen Legends zu spielen, gibt es zwei verschiedene Wege. Wählt Legends im Hauptmenü von Ghost of Tsushima aus. Sprecht im Spiel mit dem neuen Charakter namens Gilosen, der nach dem Update auf eurer Karte markiert wird. Habt ihr einen der beiden Wege gewählt, gelangt ihr in den PS Store. Hier könnt ihr den Koop DLC kostenlos herunterladen. Im Anschluss startet ihr direkt in den neuen Modus. Diese Modi stecken in Legends. Story-Missionen für 2 Spieler. Spielt zusammen mit einem Kunden die Geschichte von Gyosen, die mythische Ereignisse auf Tsushima.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr.
Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir. Thank you. And you are? I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Perfekt für den Fernkampf. Ronin, eine Art Medic, der andere Spieler wiederbeleben kann. Assassine kann sich über das
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
Ja.
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future. What made you choose to be a doctor? I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Spielt. Klickt sich hier durch irgendwelche Text-Adventures.
Das PS Plus Spiel von diesem Monat.
You will obtain nothing from me by flattery, my young
colleague.
Oh, I was not flattering you, sir, not at all. Just clumsily expressing my sincere admiration.
Dr. Thoreau Stacksland.
Oh, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. 2000 EP. Ja, aber der ist Stufe 4. Den
I
kann ich
based my
nicht
technique
machen.
on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours? I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories at first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful. As long as you're cautious and methodical,
Hallo, Herr Dr.
you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're
not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic. What can you tell me about the Pembroke? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Das muss so. Das sind dieselben Decken, mit denen sie den Indianern die Pest gegeben haben, oder was das war.
You seem quite optimistic.
In England.
It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times. I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science. Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation. True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now. Do you need help with anything in particular? Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished. Do you want me to play the errand boy for you? Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need. I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods? It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true. With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you?
Hast du übrigens gesehen, was jetzt bei Smite mit drin ist?
To work together? I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the
Wahnsinn weiter
transfusion
hier von
process,
den
he would be
Transformers
the first to recommend its use. So you believe it's
Panzerspielen
just a
und sonst was.
question
Bei
of
Smite
jealousy.
hat ja eigentlich hier die
Dr.
Göttermythologie
Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Ja, sehe ich kein Problem nicht.
What, Dan Aykroyd?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques. Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him. What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point? Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed.
especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Deine Bluttransfusionstechnik, aussaugen und irgendwo
This
hinspucken.
personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality.
Den seine, nicht meine.
You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Meinst du, man kann die auch dippen?
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
He's a proud father.
He's a proud boy.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Good evening, sir. How long must I wait, damn it? Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long to come to
Just auf jetzt hoch ins Büro.
Büro. Büro. Husten Sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit. Coronavirus.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
A kingdom of my own.
Man merkt langsam, ich schlafe am Steuer ein. Ich darf ein bisschen gegen Wand laufen, kein Problem.
The flower's dying.
So ging es mir auch beim Landwirtschaftssimulator. Da war ich schon 2 Felder weiter geradeaus durchgefahren.
Okay. Nein, wir bauen jetzt nichts hier. Warum ist denn meine Lampe gelb? Oh Mann. So, jetzt erstmal hier ein bisschen leveln.
Levler? Hängt über deinem Bett ein Spiegel?
Nein.
Fester Biss, sponsored by Cookie Dent. Gerinnung. Das zurzeit ganz gefährlich, diese rechte Gerinnung.
Rechte Gerinnung. Jawohl, 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 jawohl.
Leck mich doch mal, Arsch.
Nein.
Nein.
Man kann ja deine Gesundheit da aufleveln.
Eine Bazilliarde.
Die folgende Nacht. Sagst du jetzt so ein bisschen unfreiwillige Komik? Bürgermenü. Welche Bürger du gegessen hast, oder was?
Aha. Claycocks. Super. Junge, Dr. Swanson gibt 6000 EP. Ich muss Dr. Swanson leer zuzeln.
Ob die Charaktere wohl irgendwelche Story-Sachen geben und wenn du die vorher wegfrisst, dann kriegst du die Story nicht mehr
Das Problem ist ja, du brauchst ja, damit du sie töten kannst, brauchst du dieses, um sie zu kontrollieren. Du gehst praktisch zu ihm hin und dann führst du ihn durch die, irgendwo hin, wo alles ruhig ist und da saugst du ihn dann aus. So, jetzt wollen wir das hier mal beenden.